Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Let me make you aware of a fight that might have slipped through your net, all right? It happened on Wednesday, and I've only just got to watch it because I've been away for the week. And it took place it was on Pro Box, and it took place between SERGEY Lipinets, who is the former IBF super lightweight champion, briefly held that title. Then I think he lost it to Danny Garcia. He's also fought Jaron Ennis. He got stopped in 6 rounds. Lost his last fight, which was in November of last year, to Michel Rivera. And he took on Robbie Davies Jr. Now, these are two guys. This was a typical crossroads fight because Lipinets is 35. Davies Jr. is 34. Davies Jr., former British Commonwealth European champ, in his last fight, which was in March of last year, he fought Darragh Foley, lost in 3 rounds because he actually busted his ankle. And I think he was down in the second, though, as well, before he injured his ankle. But anyway, if you're going to have a tough comeback for either guy, really, I mean, SERGEY Lipinets, past his best. Really, it was a case of Davies Jr. I mean, he came in with 23 wins, 15 KOs, 4 defeats. 2 of those were by stoppage. Lipinets, 17 wins and 3 defeats, 1 by stoppage. And he's also got a draw in his record. So it was real last chance saloon kind of for both of these guys, considering their age. But what a fight they put on. What a fight, right? You've got to watch this fight, because it was a war, all right? The first 2 rounds, right, you're seeing almost like a mirror image. They're both orthodox fighters, roughly the same height, I think. I think Davies might have been a little bit taller, but stylistically, very, very similar. I mean, Davies Jr., the commentators were saying, well, he's got that European style, but so is Lipinets, They were, both of them box fighters. Lipinets looking to put the pressure on. Davies perhaps a bit more on the back foot. First 2 rounds, I thought Lipinets, probably because of his slightly more controlled pressure, he was getting a little bit closer to Davies. Davies was moving a bit more, but the styles really, they weren't that different to each other. And there was really nothing in it. And then in the 3rd round, Davies Jr. uncorks this left hook, which lands slap bang on the side of Lipinets' jaw. And he's shaken. He is shaken. He's really buzzed. And his legs are doing a little shake, a little shimmy. And he gets buzzed. I think he got buzzed even more because Davies, of course, follows up. And then the same thing happened in the 4th round. Davies, another left hook. He just couldn't get out of the way of the left hook, Lipinets. And Robbie Davies Jr. He's probably thinking, all my Christmases have come at once here. I mean, this was, I don't know, it was in America. I don't know what part of America this card was on. But again, it was on Pro Box TV, whatever that, I don't even know what that is. Davies Jr. previously, I think, was with Matchroom. So they must have let him go, I guess. And he took this fight in America as a crossroads fight. And he did say beforehand, if I lose this, I'm out of there. Well, after 4 rounds, he didn't look like he was losing anything because he was buzzing Lipinets. Even though Lipinets had edged the first 2 rounds, looked perhaps a bit more productive in his pressure. Davies Jr. was finding the range with the counters perfectly and landing them with a bit of venom as well. And he's not a one-punch banger, Davies, but he was certainly stinging Lipinets. Now, in the 5th round, the fight got turned on its head because Davies Jr. was in one of the corners. No, not a great deal going on. Lipinets putting the usual, water on rock pressure on him. And suddenly he seemed to clip him, like graze him almost across the nose. Lipinets, this is. And Davies Jr.'s nose just exploded. I mean, it was clearly, it wasn't busted, it was shattered. And he skidded across the ropes, clearly in a lot of pain, as you can imagine. He probably couldn't see because of all there's blood flying everywhere, all out of his nose, all running down his mouth, onto his chest and shorts. And probably his eyes were filled with tears, because if you've ever been banged on the nose, as some of us have, you'll know that it's not just the pain of the nose. You can't see what's going on. And Lipinets just tore after him and started unloading. And Davies looked like he took a knee to me, which was a wise thing to do. It meant he lost around 10-8, of course, but he went back to his boxing. But oh my God, the nose was smashed. It wasn't broken; it was smashed. And in the 6th round, I mean, with an injury like that, you couldn't blame Davies for being sort of kind of reticent and a little bit conservative with his work. I think probably he was looking to build on the success in the 4th and 5th. In the 3rd. The 3rd and 4th rounds. But the nose just sort of threw the game plan out the window. So Lipinets is in the ascendancy again and again, you know. But Davies still dangerous. He's still trying to get some work done, still trying to prod and poke his way through, you know, through the pain, I guess. And then in the 8th round, Lipinets, all that sort of pressure he was putting on Davies, I think, as we've often said in the past, you know, that the key to the door is often the body. And he landed this brilliant left hook to the body. Down goes Davies. It was touch and go whether he beat the count, but he did. Looked to his corner. Within seconds, he was on the floor again. I don't know whether he took a knee there. He might have done. He could have done. But he got up and suddenly he was back on it again. It was weird. It was weird because you were fully expecting Lipinets to close the show. And lo and behold, before the round's over, Lipinets gets clipped with a left hook. And it looks like Davies is about to turn the tables again. I mean, it was brilliant round, the 8th round. Go and watch. We watched this fight, but concentrate on the 8th round because you won't be disappointed. Well, could it be that Davies would, having suffered 3 knockdowns in this fight, would completely turn the tables and win it? Well, he couldn't quite close out the fight. Lipinets managed to stay out of trouble. In fact, he had a very aggressive last round where he really kept Davies contained. You could say perhaps he took a bit of a risk because he must have known that with 3 knockdowns he was winning. And he did win a unanimous decision, and it was kind of a moral victory for Davies, you know, to go the distance, I suppose, especially after a long time out and with a broken ankle to come back and take on a former world champ. Yeah, it was a tall order, especially away from home. But Lipinets, of course, I say away from home, of course. Lipinets, I think he's based in California, but he's actually from Kazakhstan originally. But if I'm being honest, even though Lipinets thoroughly deserved the victory and showed a lot of, you know, good work in there, especially when he went to the body, but he didn't do enough. He didn't do it nearly enough. He did hurt Davies on a couple of occasions after the body shot knockdown, but he still didn't work that body enough for me. But nevertheless, the one that looked like he had more left was Davies, if I'm being honest, because even though he suffered those 3 knockdowns, it was that nose. The nose was smashed. When you watch this fight, you'll see what I mean. And for him to go the distance with that kind of damage and to actually win rounds, I mean, he won. I think I hit 6-4 to Lipinets in rounds, but there's 3-10-8 in there, so it's a wide decision. But Lipinets, when he was clipped, and Davies isn't a big puncher, Lipinets looked shaken. He did look shaken. So I'm thinking maybe neither of them looked like they had bad legs. You know, their legs didn't appear to be shot. But I just didn't like the way that Lipinets reacted when he was clipped, especially with the left hook. He couldn't get out of the way of the left hook from Davies. But Davies he doesn't look shot to me. He's 34. I think if he came back to England and maybe if he wants to, of course, if he wants to start again from the floorboards up and, you know, go back to domestic level and work through the European level again, I think he can do it. But having said that, you know, he had a busted ankle in his previous fight. Now he's got a smashed up nose in this fight. He might be thinking, the hell with this, I've had enough. I'm 34. Do I need this? Probably not. So he's probably going to assess his options. And to be honest, there might not be a lot of them. He might be just used as fodder for some up and comer, I suppose. Probably Conor Benn will want to fight him or someone like that, you know. But anyway, have a look at this fight because you won't be disappointed. It was terrific stuff. And leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of this fight, and let me know where you think both guys are. And I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you if you've already done so, and hit the like button as well because it all helps build up the channel, and we want to build it up, don't we? Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I will catch you later, and bye for now.